So I just got my new iPhone 17 Pro in the mail, and I just wanted to do a little unboxing and first impressions video on it. I got the one in silver, and it's the 256GB model. And I've also got a couple of cases I wanted to show you. So let's go over to the unboxing table and we'll check it out. Okay, so let's open it up. Oh, wow. I thought that was like a white sticker on it, but that's actually the color of it. So in the box, you just get the braided USB-C to USB-C cable and a SIM tray ejector. I don't think every country will have the SIM card tray, but in Australia we do. In Australia you can do the physical SIM card or an eSIM card, but I know some countries are only doing the eSIM. But for Australia we get the SIM card tray ejector and the cable, and then there's nothing else in the box. When I first picked it up in my hand, I feel like it was lighter than my iPhone 16 Pro. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like maybe it is slightly lighter. Not by much. So this one I think is made from an aluminium frame, and then it has a ceramic shield glass on the front and on the back, which is meant to be more scratch resistant. And I think the iPhone 16 Pro was made from a titanium. So, but yeah, I think it does feel lighter. So also the iPhone 17 Pro has the A9 Pro chip, when the iPhone 16 Pro had the A18 chip. And also the screen brightness is meant to be better on the 17 Pro with 3000 nits. So when you're outdoors, your screen will be a lot brighter in direct sunlight. Although with my iPhone 17 Pro, I never had an issue. It was bright enough for me outside. And also the battery in the 17 Pro is meant to last longer than the 16 Pro, but obviously we'll have to do some testing to see if that is true. So we can see when we put them side to side, they look the same size. So if we line them up here, you can see you have your button here and then the camera control button there. And on the bottom we have our USB-C and speakers. And then on this side we have our SIM card tray, our volume rocker, and our action button. Pretty much the same layout as the 16 Pro. And then on the back we have our new camera design with the three 48 megapixel cameras. So you have the main camera, you have an ultra wide, and you have a telephoto lens. The telephoto lens is meant to have 8 times optical zoom. And then on the front they've upgraded the front camera to have an 18 megapixel camera with autofocus. So it's meant to be heaps sharper for selfies, and your video calls should look a whole lot better. So that's going to be really cool to test out. So before I turn the phone on and get it all set up, I always like to make sure my new phone has a good protective case, and Mous has sent me out these two cases, which are really nice. We have the stone color and the sage green. I've been a big fan of Mous cases for a long time because they are really high quality. You can see I have my Mous case for my iPhone 16 Pro that I've been using for ages, and the amount of times I've dropped my phone, and this has protected it really well. So if we have a quick look at the case, I've just got a little sticker on this for the camera control button. So Mous have actually redesigned their camera control button. On my old iPhone 16 case, I already thought it was great, so I'm really excited to test this one out. It looks very similar. So it's meant to have Apple level precision now. The case is also a drop proof case. So if you see here in the corners, it has some technology called AeroShock. So it's really meant to protect your phone quite well. So you can see here there's some nice material that protects your phone, and it also has built-in MagSafe, which is really strong. And then yeah, you have your reinforced corners on the outside to help protect it. the amount of times I've dropped my phone in like car parks on the hard concrete or the gravel, and this has fully protected my phone. I am curious because now we have a big cutout, how these cameras are going to go. But you can see here that there's a raised edge. So when we're putting our phones down on the table and stuff like that, it should be protected really nice. But lovely cases. If you want to check out any cases from Mous, I'll leave a link in the description below, but let's try these ones on. So that looks really nice with the silver. So that's what this one looks like. And we'll test out the camera control button after. And then we have the sage green. I'll peel off the little sticker. And so that's actually got a black button when this one has a silver. So yeah, this one looks really nice in the sage green as well. And you have your cutouts, which are really nice. Buttons feel good. I also have a tempered glass screen protector coming. It should be here tomorrow, and I'll be putting that on as soon as I get it. So let's start the phone up. So I'm just going to go through the setup. I won't bore you with that, and then we'll take a look at the phone when it's all set up. All right, so we're on the home screen now, and the first thing I really notice is the display. It looks super bright and sharp. So Apple says it's even brighter this year at 3000 nits. So when we crank it up all the way, you can really see the difference. And this is going to make a big difference when you're outside. So if I grab my iPhone 16 Pro, and let me just change my camera settings a little bit for you. So if I turn up the brightness on my iPhone 16 Pro, and we have a look here, you can definitely tell that the iPhone 17 Pro is brighter. I don't know if you can really see the difference on camera, but the new iPhone is brighter, so that's going to make a nice difference when you're outside. Not that I ever had an issue with the brightness of the 16 Pro outside, but this one should be even better outside, which is cool. All right, let's open up a couple of apps and we'll just see how smooth everything is. So I still actually have a few apps installing, so it's still doing that in the background as well. But open up notes. It also has a 120 hertz refresh rate. Everything seems pretty smooth and is opening up fast, which is what you would expect from the new A19 Pro chip. And then of course the big focus this year is the camera. So we'll take a quick look at the selfie camera and see what that looks like. Okay, so this is just a quick test using the selfie camera. So the new selfie camera is 18 megapixel camera. So it is an upgrade from the iPhone 16 Pro. And I can tell just by looking at this, it's a lot clearer. So I'm also just using the built-in iPhone audio. So hopefully this sounds okay. But this is what the selfie camera looks like. And then I'm gonna flip it over and we'll have a look at what the back camera looks like. Okay, so this is the rear facing camera, which is 48 megapixels, I think. And it should just be using the main camera because I haven't got it zoomed in or anything like that. So this is what it looks like. And again, I'm also using the audio from the phone. So yeah, this is what it would look like. I do have some studio lights, so keep that in mind. Lighting does make a big difference to what the footage will look like. But I think outside it's going to look great, but it is raining today, so I can't really go out there and test it. But this is the quality of the rear-facing camera. Okay, so we'll take a quick look at the camera app. So we'll open it. You can see with the iOS 26 update, it looks a little bit different now. So you have your settings here. You can sort of scroll through them. But the main focus is on the video and photo setting. So when we're on photo, you can see we have the 0.5, the 1 times, which is a 24mm lens, 2 times, 4 times, and 8 times. And so we'll test out this camera control button on the mouse case as well. So you just have to put a little bit of pressure and then you can swipe through nice and easy. So that works quite nice. So you have some more settings over here. You can change your aspect ratio, your style, live mode, the flash and exposure. So I feel like they've simplified it a little bit more, which is nice. And then for video, it's pretty much the same. You can see your frame rates and your resolution, and you can click on that and change it really easy now. I feel like the changes that they made in iOS 26 were really good. It's just simplified this app a lot more. So overall, my first impressions are it's a really nice phone and the camera improvements are really great. I'm super excited to keep testing out all the different features that they have brought to this new phone because I haven't even touched half of them. You can do things like filming on the back camera while also filming your face so you can share like your reactions in videos, which is really cool. There's the new feature that automatically puts it into landscape mode so you can be holding and filming your phone like this and it's actually going to crop it into landscape mode. So I need to play around with that. There's also the feature that changes the lens so you could be filming yourself and then other people jump in the photo and then it's going to change the lens to maybe the wide one to fit everyone in that photo, which is super cool. So there's heaps of new features like that I still need to test out. But just for the first look at the quality of it, especially with the selfie cam, it's a big upgrade. And as for the other hardware upgrades like the A19 chip, and it also now has 12 gig of RAM, from the little bit of playing around I've done with it so far, it feels super snappy, apps opening up quick. I haven't tried any demanding tasks on there yet like games or video editing, but I'm sure it's going to handle it just fine because I didn't have a problem with it on my iPhone 16 Pro. So the screen brightness is also another really great upgrade. When I read on the spec sheet that it has 300 nits. That's not something that really stood out to me. I was just like, okay, cool, whatever. Because I was already happy with my iPhone 16 Pro's screen. I didn't really think much of it. But when you're holding them together, you can actually see the difference. And when you are using the phone, everything's just more crisp and bright. And it's just a lot nicer when I already thought the iPhone 16 Pro was really nice. I didn't think it could get much better, but it obviously can. So yes, the screen is really nice. And that's also another great improvement. One other thing I also noticed with the phone is iOS 26 runs really nice on the 17 Pro. I updated my iPhone 16 Pro to iOS 26. It works quite well on there, but I've noticed some of the animations aren't quite as fluid as on the 17 Pro. I'm sure they will eventually do another update and fix that on the older models, but I have noticed so far, like it just feels so smooth and everything looks so clean on the 17 Pros. But also if you haven't updated your current iPhone to iOS 26, I would recommend doing that. You get so many really cool features and it's pretty cool. So those are my first thoughts about the iPhone 17 Pro. I'm super excited to keep testing it out and learning more things about it. So that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you found it helpful and make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to my channel because I will be making more videos about my new iPhone 17 Pro. And I also do a lot of videos on like tricks and tips on the iPhone and the iPad. So make sure you're subscribed and I'll hopefully see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.